Hey there, for Best Music Coach, my name is Dan, and you are going to get the 5 top tips and tricks to be able to find and select the best music teacher for you so you can save time, money, and get a fantastic and phenomenal result and actually get good at music instead of wasting your time. Why should you listen to me? I've been teaching music for over 10 years. I've written a bunch of books on music, sold over 5,000 copies of those books, and I have over 14 million views of my music content here on YouTube. So today we're going to talk about number 1, the basics of why you need a teacher. Number 2, my 5 tips on how to actually find and select the best music teacher for you. And then I'm going to have a bonus tip for you at the end. Let's get started. So everyone needs a proficient teacher. Proficient means you're good at doing something. So everyone needs a teacher who's actually good at teaching. Everyone. It doesn't matter how young or how old you are. Now, some people think that teachers are just for kids, and this just is not true. Even rock stars take lessons with teachers. If teachers will work for rock stars, teachers will also work for you. No one outgrows needing a teacher. Not even me. I still take a couple lessons a year with someone who's doing something I want to do better than I'm currently doing it. It saves you time. You only have one life. So save yourself time and money in the long run and take lessons with a proficient teacher now. Don't try and just hang out on Discord or Reddit and YouTube trying to figure it out yourself. You're going to spend so much more time and develop bad habits. It's going to be a complete waste of your time. I've got more videos here on this channel for the differences between videos and teachers, all sorts of things. Go check those out. So even great and smart pop stars take lessons. I actually talked to John Bon Jovi's old guitar teacher, Jeffrey Lee Campbell, on my podcast. Now, John Bon Jovi, one of the premier pop stars in the world, mega hits, incredible musician, phenomenal songwriter, great singer, wanted to get better at guitar and knew the fastest way to do that was going to be to take music lessons. Stars like John Mayer, Charlie Puth, Steve Vai, John Petrucci, St. Vincent all went to music school, and what did they do there? They took music lessons. So let's talk a little bit about if you actually tried taking music lessons before and you're watching this video because you're saying to yourself, yeah, well, I tried it before, but it didn't really work. So let's see what this guy has to say. So let's talk about the 2 things that might have happened if you failed or your music teacher failed you. So if working with a music teacher before did not work for you, it's probably because you did not find a proficient teacher. It might not even be your fault that it didn't work out, and it might actually be your teacher's fault. So ask yourself the question, did your teacher break everything down for you in a way that you could easily understand? Did your teacher help you figure out your dream musical, why you were in lessons in the first place, like the point of you taking lessons? Did your teacher provide you with a clear path to get to that goal? And did your teacher get you to that goal or provide you a path to that goal with the smallest number of steps possible? And did your teacher customize your exercises, your songs, everything you were doing along the way to actually make getting to that goal exciting and engaging for you? If your teacher didn't do any of those things, most likely it's your teacher's fault it didn't work out. Now, there is also a possibility that you did not actually put in the work or you didn't do what your teacher told you to do. And if that's the case, well, that's on you. Next time, do what your teacher says you should do, and then you'll get a much better and different result. So here are my 5 actions, my 5 steps to find and select a proficient, remember proficient means someone who's good at doing something, proficient teacher that work every single time. These 5 tips work for any instrument, singing, songwriting, and composition. So tip number 1 is to try 2 teachers. When you pick a teacher, you're actually going to develop a relationship over weeks, months, and maybe years with this person. So don't settle for the first teacher you try. Even if you get along really well with the first teacher you try and you have a great lesson, try at least 2 more teachers before picking one you're going to stay with. Yes, this will cost you a little extra money now, but it will save you so much time, money, and energy in the long run. This is kind of like dating or finding friends. You want to check to see if there's going to be any red flags between you and your teacher that might be a problem in the long run. Tip number 2 is to select specialists. Now, there's 3 types of specialists. Number 1 is an instrument specialist. You don't want to pick an and also teacher. You want to pick someone who specializes in certain things. So, for example, someone who teaches singing and piano and guitar and also violin, and also viola, and also flute. It's like, whoa, hang on a second. they're probably not going to be able to get you to where you want to go in your desired instrument because they've spread their skills so thin across so many different subjects. So you're actually going to want to make sure you read teachers' biographies or their bios to make sure they have professional experience in whatever you specifically want to learn from them. The next type of specialist is a level specialist. Not all teachers teach from beginner to advanced. Some teachers just teach beginner. For example, I teach beginner through advanced guitar, songwriting, music theory, and singing. I only teach beginner piano. I don't do intermediate piano. That's just not my thing. So you need to find someone who's going to be able to take you as far as you want to go, or who's going to be able to meet you where you are. If you're already intermediate, you don't want to go to someone who just teaches beginners. Now, some teachers will actually specialize in a mix of beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And those teachers can take you all the way from square one to your dream music goals. So we can think about really there being 3 levels. That would be beginner, intermediate, advanced. And you want to find a teacher who's going to be able to get you however far you really want to go. If you just want to play your favorite songs, have fun, beginner teacher is going to be fine. If you want to actually get somewhere, play music's a little bit more complicated, maybe go out, write your own music, play, perform, record, intermediate and advanced teacher would be the way to go. Hopefully they also can take beginners as well, because not all teachers actually want to work with beginners. Some teachers find this to be, believe it or not, very boring, because you end up having to say the same beginner things to the same people over and over and over again. So the last specialty is age specialist. So some teachers are really great with kids. Some teachers are not. Some teachers like working with teens and adults, and some teachers will teach anyone. Find a teacher who specializes in you. So if you're a teen who plays guitar, find a teacher who likes working with teens and plays guitar. If you're an adult who wants to write songs, find a teacher who likes working with adults and teaching them to write songs. If you have a child, find a teacher who specializes or likes working with children. Okay, tip number 3 is to choose a category. Do not pick a specialist in the wrong category. So we're going to say specialist and categories under that specialist. So for example, you do not want to take lessons with a classical guitar teacher if your goal is to play screaming, shredding rock metal solos. And you're not going to study with an opera singer if your goal is to sing R&B and pop songs. So you don't study with a classical composer if your goal is to write pop songs. All teachers can show you the basics. You can always find someone to show you the basics, the fundamentals of everything, but you need to find someone who's actually going to be able to take you in your specialty that you want to achieve, your dream music goal, take you all the way from 0 to hero, all the way to the end. Now, there is a myth out there, quick side note, there's a myth out there that you should start classical on an instrument or a voice, even if your dream music goal is to play a modern genre. Don't do this. Why would you want to spend time gaining competency in classical music when you don't actually want to do it? Remember, all teachers can cover the fundamentals. All teachers can cover the basics. So go work with a teacher who actually specializes in getting you to what you want to do. Any proficient teacher will do for just the basics. So before you book a lesson, look at teachers' biographies. If their bio is unclear, ask the music school where the teacher works or the teacher themselves, if they work for themselves, about their biography. If, for example, your dream is to tour the world and you see your music teacher has toured the world, they're probably going to be able to help you. Let's say you want to tour the world playing classical guitar. Your teacher's toured the world playing classical guitar. Go work with that teacher. One more note is sometimes you will find teachers who have not been teaching for that long and their bio is going to be very short. Maybe you don't want to work with them. Maybe you do. Remember, we're going to go back to try 2 teachers. If you have a really good feeling about working with someone, try them out. Try a couple other people too. Okay, tip number 4 is to go get your goals. Pick a teacher who listens to you about your goals and helps you figure out a way or shows you the way to get to your goals. The teacher should be able to explain in basic terms how you will reach your goal and give you an honest estimation for how long it will take. You may hear a teacher say, well, it depends on how hard you work, and this is an honest answer, which is a good answer because it is also true. How long it takes you to get from where you are now to your goal does depend on how diligently you work, how diligently you practice, and how well you follow your teacher's instructions, especially if your teacher's already gotten to that goal themselves, and then they can show you the way. Teachers who understand how important goals are will also help you stay motivated by breaking each goal down into smaller pieces and helping you actually get these little dopamine hits. Dopamine's like happy chemicals in your brain. Whenever you achieve a goal, whenever you finish a goal, even if it's a small goal, your brain gets really happy. So teachers will actually harness that and actually help you understand how to use that little goal. Oh, it was fun. Little goal. Yes, that was great. Little goal. Oh, that's awesome. And then all of a sudden you're at your end goal, your dream music goal. Now, my fifth and final tip before my bonus tip is quality qualifications. You want to pick a teacher who has qualifications in their instrument and in teaching. Things like 5-star student reviews, college degrees in music or music education. They've published books. They've won music competitions. They have performance experience. They've played in famous music venues. They've performed with other artists or with famous artists. They've written on or played on songs that have charted somewhere. All these are really good indicators that your teacher is going to have the knowledge and the ability to get you to where you want to go, especially if one of your goals is to do one of those things that your teacher has already done. So here's a little math for you that's going to break this whole thing down. Training plus experience plus time teaching equals a more competent teacher. One more time. The training a music teacher has had in their life, so the amount of school they had, the amount of lessons they've taken, the amount of experience that they have using all their training, like have they gone out, have they played gigs, have they recorded, have they been performing around the world, touring, whatever. Plus the amount of time they've been teaching, you put all three of those together, you're going to get a more competent teacher. You can think of more competent teachers as being a better teacher. My final tip is always ask questions, both in your lessons and as you are deciding which teacher to use. Ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions in lessons. If your teacher does not like you asking questions, find another teacher. They're not the right teacher for you. You need to be able to ask questions. It's your job as a student to ask questions, to ask for clarification about things you don't understand if your teacher does not make it abundantly clear first, so that you don't actually have to ask questions. If you need help finding and selecting a teacher, I invite you into my free Facebook group. The link is in the video description and in the pinned comment. Go click on that. You're going to jump straight into my Facebook group where I'm actually going to help you and show you and give you tips on selecting the right teacher for you. Again, my name is Dan Spencer. The company is Best Music Coach, and it truly has been my honor, and I'm so grateful to have been able to bring this information to you today, because I really, really wish when I was starting out in music, I had someone like me giving me this type of information. So I'm really very grateful to be able to save you all the time, energy, and lessons learned along the way so we can jump you forward and get you to your dream music goals, because I know you're going to be so much happier and make the world a happier and better place when you are playing the music you love and sharing the music you love with others. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, crush that notification bell, and again, join my Facebook group. See you next time.